If one is an atheist and doesn't believe in spirituality, what would you say to them? And I believe the question is about meditation. That's my interpretation. Feel free to answer it however you feel fit.
I want to share that I think there's a confusion between the words religion and spirituality. I actually gave a talk yesterday to the entire Chapman University community around spiritual wellness as one of our 8 dimensions of wellness at Chapman. So I want to say this, religion is an organized institutional form of expression to divine power that is unique and different, almost like how we have all of us speak our own language, if you will, to communicate, and each language is the way we speak to each other. I look at religion as a unique way each culture speaks to the divine. Spirituality is something completely different. Spirituality, in the context of religious studies or in the context of what I do in spiritual psychology, spirituality is your own unique personal belief systems about the world. Now, this can be, and all of us have this, even atheists have a personal belief system. Or now, when I say belief system, it doesn't mean a divine or a theological belief system. It's a belief system about life. What gives you purpose, what gives you a sense of meaning. This is spirituality. Well, it could be your work. It could be your kids. It could be, whatever that is, like writing, creativity, art. These are all forms of spirituality. So spirituality is independent. Well, in some way, spirituality is independent of religion. So this is why I think we need to be very careful, or just not careful, we need to be very distinguish between these two confusing terms, religion and spirituality. Religiosity is institutionalized and unique to a specific culture, but spirituality is embedded into the human condition. It is about giving us a sense of purpose and meaning. And the last thing I'll say before I hand it over to Gopi, because I know he's got maybe he can talk more about the meditation, other aspects of it as well. Spirituality, for me, why it's so important right now, many of us are experiencing spiritual distress through COVID. Spiritual trauma can disrupt our anchors and our sense of safety and security. And fundamentally, we can grow from trauma and become more resilient by seeking the meaning behind our loss and grief. This is spirituality, which is independent from religion. So that's all I'll say on that. There's more I can say, but I'll stop there.
Thank you, Dr. J. So that's an amazing question and source of a lot of confusion. And if I understand the question correctly, the person was asking, if I'm not religious or spiritual, or if a person is not religious or spiritual, can you still practice meditation? The answer is absolutely yes. It is true that many religious orders have a meditation practice, and a lot of our meditation practices today may come from one of those. So there are the Trappist monks in the Christian tradition, or various Hindu practices, Buddhist practices. Religious orders have meditation as a very integral part of the daily practice. But meditation does not have to necessarily have a spiritual or religious context. It can have a completely secular context. And it shows up now in the Western world in the form of mindfulness-based stress reduction that John Kabat-Zinn talks about, or mindfulness as a concept. And the two can exist separately. My own personal practice does come from a very religious tradition, but that is my personal choice. That's what I was inducted to when I was 19, and I continue to practice it. But when I practice it at Google, it does not have those characteristics. That's my personal practice. So in fact, a Google engineer, Chad Mentan, studied this and realized that meditation can be used as a tool to raise emotional intelligence. And he developed a program called Search Inside Yourself, which is now a course and a program at Google. It's actually one of the most popular training courses. And every day there are meditation groups that sit at Google. We start many of our meetings with a little meditation practice, and I've led them. And we can do that without a connotation of religion or spirituality. You can add that and use it as a spiritual practice, as a religious practice. But it can also be used as a mainly mind-body neurophysical practice. The idea behind meditation, I would ask the questioner to consider, is think of it as creating some kind of spaciousness in your mind, in your brain. And you could meditate or by making when you're making a cup of tea and you're sitting quietly in your garden and sipping, or if you walk with great awareness in nature, as Praveen was talking about earlier, that could be a meditative practice as well. And it need not be connected with religion or spiritual, although it can be. And we are grateful for those traditions to have actually given us this gift of many, many different meditation practices. Thank you.